So, quick check-in with Chapter 4 of Human Merchandise in Cptn Bld by Raphael Santini, where, the community, you always think about when you hear about people were like, oh, they're rebels and they were sentenced to death, but then, oh, clemency was given because it was transmuted to transportation, where they're sent off to be basically a slave in a plantation. And you think, oh, that's some sort of mercy, but actually, no. Santini does a really good job of pointing out here that's not mercy. That's the King James II has a lot of debts he owes, whether just kind of like people helped him out, so he owes them, or money debts. And what's the easiest way to pay that off? Well, a newly enslaved healthy guy can go for 10, 15, 20 pounds. And if you just say, okay, all these people who are rebels, instead of executing them, there you go, here's some slaves for your plantation. That is an easy way to discharge your debts. And even though Lord Geoffrey here rails against this and asks that, like, no, we shouldn't do this, we should just execute every motherfucking one of them. You can see him in his maybe a bit more of an English accent there saying something like that. He no, Blood and his companions all get sent off to Bristol and are sent on a ship to, I think it's Jamaica, to be slaves, to be indentured slaves, to be sold off, possibly to work at a plantation, whatever. But they're going to make money for whoever they were put in the way. It's quick. You see, it's quickly like they're there, and then they're going to get auctioned off, and the money will go back to whoever the king owed to for a space of its. Now, this is unlike African slavery from people from Africa, in that it's a 10-year thing if they survive, which is very doubtful. But at least I guess as being rebels and it being kind of a prison sentence, you're given it's 10 years, though a lot of people die. And indeed, they make the point that Baines, who was the Lord Goldoy's kind of the guy who was taking care of the farm and stuff like that, he doesn't make it through the passage. He dies. And indeed, it's noted that a lot more people would have died, but Blood finally prevails on the captain to allow him to, minister as a doctor on the ship. So only 11 people die. Only 11 men die. On the thing, they're hauled up, they're hauled up to be auctioned off. They are auctioned off, and it is who is it? It's the governor and Governor Steed comes up, a short, stout, red-faced gentleman. And then after him, in a uniform of the colonel of a Barbados militia, a tall, corpulent man who towered head and shoulders above the governor, with a malevolence plainly written on his enormous yellow countenance. And then, but also a beautiful young daughter, apparently. Came a slight young lady in a modish riding gown, who's got, pale features shaded from the Tropic of Cancer, made no impression. Ringlets of red-brown hair hung to her shoulders. Frankness looked out of her hazel eyes. So we've got the beautiful thing, and this is where we find out that we've got Colonel Bishop is the tall, yellow-visaged asshole with beady eyes. He's definitely the villain. And the daughter, who seems to speak up and says, no, I want Bishop. I want Blood. And this, I believe, is Arabella Bishop, who is made Miss Arabella Bishop, is the one who is insisted that they purchase not only the pit. What the hell's his name? His companion, who he thought he was going to be separated from, because he's actually young. What's his name? See, I need to get all my names I need to get all my names down. But I think it's Jeremy Pitt, I think is the name of the fellow. Yes, Pitt. Um, and he's afraid that he's going to get separated from him, and that would be the worst thing because basically Peter Blood has been supporting him the whole way, psychologically at least, has been supporting him. And, this was like, to Pitt, the separation was the poignant climax of all his sufferings. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Human merchandise, Peter Blood, human merchandise, bought up by Colonel Bishop at the behest of Arabella Bishop. All right. I will leave it there. I'm melting. All right. More videos later.